my chest mount was going to be a pain in the ass. I am at the park, but the chest mount was going to be annoying, so I'm not bothering with it. I'll just carry the phone. That means I cannot carry my cane, so I am walking the way I don't normally walk. I normally walk up Bond Street, which is behind me there, but I walk down Moody because I have done this enough times with other people. I know where all the bumps are. I mean, I almost know where the bumps are on Bond. But I've done this enough times for like the silent march, which was, this weekend, and I wasn't part of it because it was too late. But I've done the silent march without a cane because I was carrying stuff.
Okay, fine.
And all I really have to do is manage a couple of street crossings. So that's what I'm gonna live. 7:30, and I can't quite read chat yet, but I can be out here. It's going to be getting dark earlier, so I might be coming out earlier. Hello. The plan was 7:30 tonight. That didn't work. I got an important phone call about 7 p.m. Messes with things a little bit. It's a bit muggy out here still. It's cool, it's just still kind of sticky. And I didn't think to order any ice cream. It's alright. The cooler was the last thing that kept me behind a bit, because the stuff that I load into the cooler is in more than one place, and what's in there is cold, and that's all I really need, cold. And actually, by the time I get out to the ice building, I should be able to read chat. I can say hello to all you people. Coming up on an intersection here. Need to pay attention to what I'm doing. There used to be nobody at this street corner, ever. And that has changed. They've built a couple more buildings down here, and now people actually use it. And since there's no light or anything at that corner, I have to pay attention to where cars are, in particular at that intersection, because they don't pay attention to where people are at it. That one and same street on Bond. So, I suppose I could kind of get started on topics. Once again, I need to reiterate. Us people who oppose what ICE is doing, we need to sit down and actually have some freaking conversations. Just in general. Nothing new happened. Just reiterating that it's kind of a need. We need to do it. I'm at the street crossing place, crossing streets. No cars, I could probably do it now. I waited for the light, no jaywalking. We obey the law on this stream. Except for jaywalking, which we do all the freaking time. Generally, right there in front of ice. All the freaking time. But yeah, we need to be talking to each other out here. And we need to be thinking about, frankly, there's a lot of people who ain't out here anymore who need to come on back. And in order for them to come on back, we need some sit-downs to have some words with the people who made them think that they maybe shouldn't be here. And sometimes that's a perception issue and not a good one. Not an accurate one. Like Nathan had theories. There be chairs set up out here, guys. Well, shit, I said look for the chairs, but I also said look for the tripod. Morning. It's morning somewhere. All right. Well, I think they will not mistake chairs across the street from the ice building. I did not have time to make food. I kind of expected I wouldn't, so there's a DoorDash on its way. And I will have to drop the stream for just a second when it gets here, because I have got to know what my blood sugar is doing, because it's been all over the place. Sorry guys, I'm wrestling a chair at the same time I'm wrestling a phone. Yeah, so I got to know what my blood sugar is doing, because I have to inject some insulin. Normally, I don't do that out here. And honestly, part of the reason for that, I do my insulin at home and don't even bring it with me, because if there is an issue where I start to go and my ass gets tonked out, I do not want somebody trying to be helpful, thinking, oh, he's diabetic, he needs insulin to treat his blood sugar. Because insulin treats high blood sugar. If my blood sugar is high, including into the, honestly, into the, fuck ice! Even if my blood sugar is high into like 400s, and that would be like, that's bad. It would be literally the case that I would be fine for a while. I mean, if it got higher than that, there's a possibility I could wind up in the hospital, even in a coma. But I mean, there's a good chance I'd probably survive that. And there's plenty of warning if I'm, headed that way. On the other hand, if I go and do something stupid with, low blood sugar and not treating that, I could be dead by the time the ambulance got here. What are you doing? Come on. Aha, you were caught. All right. Then we do the thing with the arm. Yeah, that's the thing. High blood sugar can kill you in... high blood sugar can kill you, you know, today maybe. Seriously, dangerously low blood sugar can kill your ass before the ambulance gets here. I am in no danger of the latter today. While I've been on this, antibiotic, wrong knob. This antibiotic has had my blood sugars closer to that 400 level if I'm not real careful. So I will check it. All right. Have we got a clamp? We have. The clamps! Am I going to drop it on the clamp? Am I going to drop the clamp on the tripod? Not yet. All right. There we go. Now I'll put you guys down and the shaky cam shall end. Theoretically. All right. There we go. Unclicked. All right, and we are pointed at the sky. Let's fix that. And too high up. All right. Brighton. Now I should be able to read the chat a little bit better. So, by the way, I've had these sunglasses for almost 20 years now. No, not quite that long. but the temples are made of that disintegrating thermoplastic rubber. It sucks. So, I could buy another pair of temples for them. They still make them. But if I did, I mean, I'd have to pay $10 shipping plus the cost of the No. These are glasses worn by military, sometimes by veterans, gun nuts. So basically, I qualified as one of those things when I bought them. But mostly I bought them because they were safety glass rated, actually well beyond, because they're ballistic rated. And they basically, these are military issued. They are not small because they're that, that sort of thing. But heat shrink tubing to replace the, I don't know if that's focusing. I cannot tell. That is just heat shrink tubing. Actually, I can't tell if it's just blurry in general. Let me do something about that. I don't have something handy. So what the hell, we're using a t-shirt. Anyway. Yeah, so what I was saying, people need to sit down and talk to people who they think there's beef with, and maybe there is, and maybe there isn't, but in fact, I know there is. And it tends to be oftentimes based on what people think they've heard. So, yeah, communication is excellent. Hi. I've got something you can drink that I'll just give you. It is hot and sticky out here. Give me just a second. Come on, you. There you go. No problem. You too. Can't give out those because those ain't water. Well, I mean, they are water, but by the way, I've got 3 more cans of Mr. Pibb if anyone happens to be out here and wants to let people know that I've got them. Otherwise, I have to wait for somebody to walk by. They are unfortunately not cold. I can change that, but not quickly. I will change that. Hey guys, I got a couple more cans of this. I'll stick it in here and make it cold. But I got like 3 cans of it left, if anybody wants one. Give it about 20 minutes. I will put the ice right on top of it. All right. So I made a post before I left here with topics. Oh, lock that down. Wow, you guys have been busy. Okay. I am probably not going to be able to read all of what people have said in chat because you guys have been talkative. Okay. Topics tonight. Conditions for our troops. Trump's secrets that aren't. The cornered cowardly orange lion. That should scare the shit out of you. And people leaving MAGA. First of all, yeah, I'm unfortunately, guys, I'm not going to be able to read all of your chat thus far. It's too much. So if you said something and you need me to see it, say it again, please. I know that it's not going to let me read it. It's just going to keep scrolling. And if I let my finger off the screen for a second, it'll scroll to the bottom. So I'm just going to warn you all to just say it again if you need me to see it. I mean, keep it rated R, please. I mean, I'm not afraid of the word fuck, so you shouldn't be either. The troop situation. It's abysmal. There are multiple ships now reporting they don't have things like water, deodorant, feminine hygiene products. That the food, I mean, bad food is par for military, but I mean, I've eaten a few MREs, all right? But we're talking about food that isn't fit to be MRE, and they don't have the MREs to eat instead. The situation is bad. And it ain't going to get any better because Trump's attitude is, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. And if he does something to fix it, then it's clearly not a lie. And he's got to look good. So he's not going to do a damn thing about it. Pete Hegseth, have you guys noticed? The dude looks like he's on more drugs than Kash Patel. I mean, people are going to start thinking it's Kash Patel walking in the room just based on his eyes. Things are not good for the troops, and Trump doesn't care. Remember, they're losers. Trump has called our military, our active duty military, losers and suckers. And part of what is driving waves of people against, leaving MAGA at this point, people who were supported Trump in 2024, is like, holy shit, no, he doesn't care about the troops. And if he doesn't care about the troops who are fighting his war, he sure as hell don't care about us. And it's like, you noticed? But it kind of doesn't matter that, they're just figuring it out because they're figuring it out. Love you, TriMet! 40! That says 40 Tacoma. It is not a 40 headed to, Tacoma, Washington. It's 40 headed to Tacoma. Yeah. The street. Just in case you ever wondered that. That bus is not going to Tacoma. It is kind of going the wrong way. If Trump does not care about the troops, he sure as hell doesn't care about you and me. And people in, red places can't afford food. People in blue places can't afford food. It's bad. And there's not a whole hell of a lot that's going to be done about it. We're in a mess. But like I said, the situation with the troops is important because that's the thing that's getting through to a lot of people, because Republicans are the ones that care for the troops. Back the military, back the blue, not them Democrats. They hate the military. And to be fair, a number of people on the left do. Because they figure that the military is... They mistake the military, the enlisted, and even the commissioned officers, lower levels, for the top brass who have their connections to the DOD and to the weapons manufacturers. Those guys are kind of... I'll say a bit yucky. They be not good people. And it's not like we don't actually need a military and we don't need weapons. We do. We need these things. But what we need a lot more than weapons and military is, to know when to not use them. And it would help if they were, more reasonably priced. Does it need to cost $15 million for one missile? $15 million is cheap for a missile. Doesn't need to cost that. It doesn't, but it costs what you're willing to pay. Now, some of these things are, going to cost a lot regardless. I am putting my hat into the wagon, so when I go looking for it later, and I'm wondering what I did with it, I put it into the wagon in a way that it is not going to blow away. Right now, in Ukraine, the Ukrainians are building a drone. And I mean, you got to send out 30 drones to hit your target. But it costs them about $5,000 per drone. If you're sending out 30 of them, you're still spending quite a bit. Somebody's got a stun gun out here. It's the second time I've heard somebody play with it. I don't recommend playing with it too much because those things don't have that much of a charge, and you want it to be charged when you need to use it. I own one. Anyway, you think that, you know, $150,000 to hit a target is a lot, and for you and me it is, but, you know, for military ordnance, that's cheap. I mean, cheapest is still a bullet. If you can get close enough to actually shoot your target with bullets, and you've got bullets that will actually do the job, you can take out your target for $30 to $50. But $150,000 for something you have to blow up remotely is not awful. Now, Ukrainians are dealing with, you know, worse conditions than our troops are because they've got a, you know, they are pinned down behind enemy lines. They're fighting a theoretically superior force with, at this point, inferior troop capacity because Putin is willing to throw thousands of men at their, you know, send them to their deaths, basically. And the Ukrainians kind of consider their men to be, they want them to come home, you know? But our military spends too much on the wrong things. And some of that is, oh, it's got to have this feature, it's got to have that feature. It doesn't need those features. It needs to be fast, easily deployed, cheap, and if its job is to fly out there and be basically a suicide drone, it needs to be disposable. And disposable on military terms is, you know, not what you and I would consider disposable. But that's, you know, doctrine for the brass to figure out, and the brass are idiots. And that's not just, you know, usual notions of military intelligence. It's that they're living in the last, you know, century still. And we're a quarter of the way through this one, so fucking figure it out already. But otherwise, the one thing they need to be doing is caring for our troops. And our troops aboard ship should be far enough away that they should be able to get helicopters to them. Well, they can't. Why can't they? Yeah, part of it is that because Russia spent so little time actually without a dictator, I mean, you know, Gorbachev did tear down that wall, and part of that was him stepping down, and Boris Yeltsin was there, and then Putin took office shortly thereafter, and then did dictatorship because he would know how, and he had all the contacts, and yeah. Russia spent so little time actually free. And that's a real shame. Oh, yes, 8:10 to 8:20. Uh-huh. Hasn't even left the restaurant yet. we're rapidly running out of allies. I can't say that we don't have any left. I'm saying Trump doesn't have any left. Okay, it is on its way now. Don't think it's going to be here in 5 minutes. Dinner tonight is Arby's. Yum. Because we didn't stop at an Arby's when we were going up to Tacoma. Fair. You do know that the United States literally has a military plan to invade Canada. And that isn't a Trump thing. That exists. Now, I hope that if we make the kinds of systemic changes to our political system that we need to, I hope that we can begin to rebuild our relationship with Canada. But we're starting over from damn near zero. I know that. I know that. And it makes me very sad. No. I wiped the camera down when I sat down. I just used a t-shirt because I didn't have anything else unburied to wipe the camera lens with. I mean, I do wipe my camera lens, but it might be cleaner than usual because I literally just did it a few minutes ago. So anyway, the situation for our troops is not good, in part because of a few problems. One, spending money in the wrong place. And some of that is, stuff that's been depleted and not replaced. Two, we got fucking morons making the decisions. I mean, honestly, if our troops had the ability, I suspect they would like to, how shall I be delicate about describing it? Hang Seth by his balls and beat him like a piñata. I don't recommend that. That's illegal. I never recommend breaking laws. But, I mean, they can want to do it all they want. The man is a moron. A moron, an addict. And he's taking his orders from a moron. Actually, I should say he is a fucking neo-Nazi moron addict taking orders from a brain-rotting imbecile. But I did say I was trying to be nice. So that's the situation with our troops, and it is so sad. I mean, if we're talking about Donald Trump's government and anybody that man has anywhere near anything less than zero. I hope if we clean house with these fucking Republicans and Trump and his entire fucking regime, I hope we can start at something close to 0 at least. But I realize that's going to require that we demonstrate something. And I guess the thing that we need to demonstrate is that we're cleaning house and holding these people accountable for what they've done. The thing is, I've seen a lot of Canadians who blame random ass Americans, and I know you know better, so tired, but some of your countrymen are not so polite about saying that they blame random ass Americans. And frankly, most of us are not responsible for this shit. And even of the people who are, and there's a lot of them that are, the fact is that the elections have been decided before people cast votes in most places. 80% or more. Love you, TriMet! This is a 35. 35R. R. It be a pirate 35. No, it's not a pirate 35. I'm just being silly. You guys are rubbing off on me. I mean, Trump's ambassador to Canada should be sent out of there with tar and feathers, personally. Didn't necessarily say covered in, I said with. You should give him tar and feathers and send him out. No, I definitely kick his ass the fuck out. Oh. Liv is running out of here? Oh, gotta run. Bye, Liv. Who's already gone? So, Trump's secrets are not staying secret. The latest is his nursemaid or whatever. This chica is, she worships the ground he walks on. I'm not going to suggest there's anything going on there because ew, but also ew. But to hear her describe him, I think she wants to have his baby. I'm not going to assume anything that's going on there. Because I don't want to, yuck. But she freaking adores him to death in a in a very unhealthy, like, very nice. It looks a little dark from that angle, and it looks a little washed out now. Anyway, but that's the latest secret, is just how much, like, we're hearing that Melania will not be around whenever she is, which sort of suggests that Melania kind of feels like she's being replaced by this person. Ew. And she functions as Trump's nursemaid, and she posts his tweets for him. Half the insane drivel that gets posted is posted by her. Yikes. She's major down bad for Donald Trump. Gross. And then you get, pictures of him with his diaper, and, all the times that, he's been being caught shitting his pants. And, this is stuff that you'd hope that the media, at least friendly media, and does he allow any other kind near him anymore, would not spend too much time on. But it's all being discussed all the time, and it's, absolutely humiliating for him. Like, genuinely humiliating for him. Now, the fact is that he is genuinely humiliating for the entire fucking country. But, that is how it be. The leaks and the secrets that won't stay secret. Hey, Ethan. Repositioning to make room for beverage, since one ought to arrive in a minute. Oh yeah, I don't do that enough. Less than half the people watching right now have clicked the like button. And I know that slightly more than half of you are subscribed. So if you subscribe and do the bell thingy, you will know when I schedule these things. This stuff out here. That'd be what I'm injecting then. And that's about the right. Hi, yep. Good timing. Thank you very much. Sugar-free thing. Thank you. Have a good night. All right. Fuck ice! Alright. Convenient random ass pill bottle to drop a needle into. Sorry about that, guys. All the stabbing has been done. All right. So, Trump's secrets coming out means something. What it means is that Trump does not have loyalty in and around him anymore. The people he surrounded himself with are betraying him. Maybe they know he's, his goose is cooked, and they are, kind of jockeying for position. The thing is, they're all incompetent. So if they're planning on replacing him, good luck with that. They just do not have they don't have what it takes to replace Donald Trump and be successful. That goes for Rubio, that goes for Vance. I mean, Rubio's probably the best of the bunch in terms of, capability of not being a colossal fuck-up. But if Rubio fires all of the people who were around Trump, and Rubio doesn't have that ability. The only one who would is J.D. Vance, if Trump were done. And Vance is a moron. Now, the thing is, Vance would have, would have people telling him what to do. And that's a concern. But I would still much rather have Vance running things than Trump, because Vance is not crazy. But people aren't going to follow Vance the way they follow Trump. Holy shit. Okay, that is two. I'm like, damn. I reached out and I pulled out two sandwiches. I ordered a second one for basically 4 in the morning. And I'm like, holy shit. That's one no, it wasn't one sandwich. Did they give me any sauces of any kind? No, they did not. Disappointing. Well, the thing is, even in his brain-degraded state, Trump probably feels like he's surrounded by traitors. I mean, he probably already felt that to begin with, even when it wasn't true. But now he is. So you have a very cowardly orange lion. The lion is a coward. Trump was always a coward. If Trump thinks he's surrounded by traitors, and he's right, he's going to become more erratic, more paranoid, more unhinged, more desperate, and ultimately more dangerous. Fuck ice! Oh, headlights! I didn't notice that. I wasn't watching. Somebody didn't have their headlights on. Hi, Shell. The thing is, what Trump is losing right now are not his supporters. He's losing his cabinet. I don't think any of these people were ever really his supporters. Maybe a few. Love you, TriMet! 35p. Welcome back, Crash. My biggest concern is Donald Trump has his finger on a nuclear trigger. And if there's one thing that will guarantee that we are starting from less than zero, with not only Canada, but fucking everybody. If Donald Trump orders a launch and a launch happens, here comes another one. Love you, TriMet! 40! I genuinely think Donald Trump is likely to launch a nuclear weapon. If not before this midterm, if he's still alive before 2028. I do. My vertical streams do a lot better than my horizontal in terms of finding new people. Once found, people watch longer if it's horizontal. Trump might launch nukes in the next 90 days. If he gets it in his head that he can use that to declare an emergency and suspend the elections, he will. If he tries, I hope somebody in the room does what is needed to stop him. That is all I can say on the subject. I hope there's somebody in the room that realizes the danger and how serious it is, and will do whatever they need to do to keep him from doing that. The thing is, if Trump launches it around at the Iranians, they don't have any weapons to shoot back with. You think Russia's going to start a world war over Iran? No way. You think China's going to start a war over them? Not a chance. I don't think so. Because right now, his cabinet are working to contain him. Except that nursemaid of his. I haven't noticed one. Stephen Miller might suggest it to him. But Stephen Miller wants to come out of this in one piece. Stephen Miller is possibly the one person who might suggest it to him. The thing is, if you are risking starting a nuclear war, where do you go? Because at that point, the entire cabinet is basically going to be looking at, like, war crimes charges. People like Stephen Miller probably already are. Fuck ice! Actually, so really the thing is, as Trump becomes more and more desperate, because he really is pretty damn desperate, Trump, the MAGA loser described it as unfounded conspiracy theories and conjectures. Donald Trump has threatened to nuke the country on 2 separate occasions. if he's threatened it, that means it's at least crossed his mind. And people have been there to say, no, no, no. But Trump is getting rid of people who have ever told him no. He's always doing that. And he is a nihilist. Donald Trump is the sort of man who will say, if I can't have the United States, nobody else can either. The E. Jean Carroll lawsuit, which he lost. He lost. He's paid the money. It's a trifling amount. $5 million. It is a trifling amount for Donald Trump. It's like saying you dropped a $5 bill. Are you going to cry about it? Probably not. I'm not even going to cry about it. And I've got an income of about $1,000 a month. I'm not going to cry about it. Not over $5. $5 million. Well, you know, he can afford to lose that. It's not a big deal to him. What is a big deal to him is the fact that it went to her. And that somebody told him he's wrong. And somebody told him that what he did was unacceptable. I won't apologize, he says. Often. He was raised to never apologize to anyone about anything, ever. You've got fairly eclectic tastes, Save Bear. So do I. So that leads to the next topic. If Trump's cabinet were never really his allies, and they're not, fair weather friends at best, and MAGA's leaving in droves, particularly over, the military, but also over gas prices. And the fact that Donald Trump keeps saying, "Oh, they're gonna, you'll pay a little more. It's okay. You'll pay a little more." Truth be told, gas prices have not gone up as much as people think they have. They have gone up, but they have not gone up because of the war as much as people think they have. That's just integrity coming from me as a person who watches this stuff and reports on it. It is more a thing of what people feel like is happening than what it is. It's definitely there. There's definitely a lot. I mean, gas prices have gone up, In some places, $1.50. In a lot of places, though, it's less than $1. The average, it's about 70 cents or so, I think. I'd have to look up my numbers, but it's about 70 cents. The thing is, and it's been more and less, but it's still a lot. 70 cents is a lot. That's what really matters. It's just not as much as people think it is. But that, coupled with Trump's just absolute apathy for the troops, coupled with just, the fact that the shiny is wearing off, and it's very clear this man is losing his fucking mind, whatever was left of it. He cannot keep it together. He cannot deliver a speech. He cannot. His posts are just absolutely fucking unhinged. People are leaving MAGA in droves. Waves and waves of them. Gotta tell you, most of them are not becoming Democrats. And I don't think we should expect that they will. I firmly believe that we need a two-party system at least to function. Now, we have more than two parties that are called the Democrats, but we have this stupid two-party system, and on the other side are these things called Republicans, and they're not going away. The shiny is wearing off on the MAGA, though. The concern is some of the people who have been driving MAGA and, support for MAGA are, the loony right wing, the groypers, the neo-Nazis, the real lunatics, the real just disgusting human beings. You can be a conservative, and I'm like, yeah, you're a conservative. No biggie. I now think you're wrong. But wrong is okay. The white supremacists and the neo-Nazis and the people who unironically think we were better off when there were slaves in this country, those people are a concern. Helicopter flying overhead. Too late for me to actually, get a shot of it, but I suspect it's lifelike. I don't know, you'd have to ask a novice plane spotter. Yeah, it's lifelike. Flew overhead and then started circling toward the hospital. Lifelike at me. So what are we supposed to do with the people who are leaving MAGA? We need to start getting some more people who have kind of some media literacy training. And this was, I think, Freya's problem. Because I suspect the people that Freya was talking to have had some media training or are naturally good at it. And Freya wasn't. So they got Freya, kind of nodding along to things that I think Freya would not be nodding along to if they were presented in a different light. It's that soft pedal of and this is something that, I've seen, like, the neo-Nazis have been recruiting with for, I remember this shit in 2018. They will say stuff like, there do be some local color happening. Sorry, guys. Trying to figure out what is happening nearby. Y'all realize that Freya is a member of the Communist Party USA, right? Still, proudly. You saw this. You see this also. You see this especially with people like Ezra Klein. Ezra Klein will sit down with a fucking nutbag and just try to listen to both sides and just sit there and nod along whatever they're saying. And meanwhile, they're trying to peddle some absolutely insane bullshit. Let me give you the example of how I literally saw neo-Nazis trying to recruit in 2018. They see you point out, because you're theoretically right-wing. They see you point out as a college student. You look through, you need financial aid, so you look through the lists of grants and whatnot. And because you're right-wing, but you need money for college, first of all, you already think that the schools are hella liberal. And, I mean, let's face it, they kind of are. And you're looking through grants and whatnot, and you see tons for minorities. English language learners, people who are Hispanic, Latino, or otherwise from south of the border, people from Africa, people from Asia, people who aren't you. And then you look to see which of these apply to me, and what you see are open to everybody, open to everybody. Wait a minute. It's not like there are grants and scholarships available to people who are just white. And you say something like that because, you know, that is the sort of complaint you make when you are right of center. Ask me how I know. This is the sort of complaint you might make. All right. Then you got somebody who is actually like a literal fucking neo-Nazi, and they want to try and recruit you. and you're on something like Insta or something. So they send you a DM, and they're like, hey, you know, it's really unfair that there aren't more grants and scholarships for people like you, because, man, these guys, they can apply for and they'll get 2 or 3 grants or scholarships. And you only qualify for 2 or 3 total, and you're only going to win one of them maybe if you're really lucky. Again, I've heard this speech. But you know, it's because them liberals hate white people. Heard this one too. And if you seem at all receptive to that, then they start talking about how they can prove it, damn it, they can prove it, that people on the left do not care when somebody says they want to just kill every white person in the country. Look at this tweet. This person says that every white person in the country needs to die. Oh my God. That wasn't hate speech? No, this was posted during the height of liberal control of Twitter. And the tweet's still there. And here's another one. Same sort of argument. This one's actually saying they want to kill them, some white people. And here's another one. Still there. After all these years, many people have reported it. And this one was hired to work at the New York Times. And you're like, no shit. And they're like, oh, absolutely. Here, check her out. This is her. She works for them. This is how they recruit. So now they got you believing that, you know, people on the left, people you have no real interaction with, secretly are supporting the idea of their own destruction. Self-hating white people. Heard that one a few times. And then, once they've got you nodding along to that shit, they pull out the white genocide. And you're supposed to just, you know, let them convince you of that, and they're already on their way to it, and you're nodding along going, yup, okay, I see your point. If this shit is what they're supporting, then maybe there's something wrong there. Yeah, maybe you actually have a point. Maybe I don't fully agree with you, but, you know, you got a point. And now they got an in with you. I call it horseshit, but, I mean, it's that soft sell where they're just trying to nudge you in the right direction. Or the wrong direction in this case. The right direction for their horribleness. Love you, TriMet! This would be a 35. It was a 35. After you've got people swallowing that shit, you're basically, I mean, once you got them swallowing white genocide, they're 90% of the way there. All you got to do at that point is just drive it home. And that's how they recruited. They do it in a DM where there isn't anybody who can actually challenge it. But they can also do it if they've got you sat down and they're talking to you and you're the only one there listening to them. The whole point is that they want no dissenting voice. Now you can argue I'm doing the same thing here. And oh, they do. I hear another bus, but another diesel engine, but I don't think it's time for another bus yet. I don't think another bus is coming. So our people need to watch out for that kind of thing. And probably we should be getting some media literacy ourselves so that we're not suckered into that. Hunter Biden got fucking rolled by Nick Fuentes doing that sort of shit. It literally was him just sitting there nodding along, and people on the left are like, oh, Hunter Biden confronts this man. And it's like, confront? He's sitting there nodding his head. He went to hear both sides. No. You go there and you learn before you go there how to detect the bullshit. And I mean, obviously it's bullshit, or at least you thought you knew it was beforehand, but you need to learn to detect the ways of putting something to you so it sounds like something other than what it is. And some of our folks need to do that because as people are confronted with that kind of thing, they will listen. And if you've had some media literacy and you're sitting next to them as they're listening to the soft sell, you can ask the question that puts that soft sell of fascism and neo-Nazism and white supremacy in perspective so that somebody who doesn't actually support that shit doesn't find themselves nodding along. Now, if they actually believe all that shit, there's nothing you can do. You cannot convince somebody who has made up their mind about that shit that it's wrong. Only cognitive dissonance can do that, and you cannot really create that yourself. That is an internal thing. I haven't got the time nor the crayons to try and deprogram somebody who's been programmed to believe that the white race must survive to the exclusion of any other. And that if we don't poison the survivability of the mud peoples, that we will... I can't fix that shit. I can't fix that. I don't have the time or the crayons. What you can do, though, is make sure that somebody sitting next to you who doesn't believe that doesn't start to let themselves be convinced of it. And I gotta say, an example of those tweets, those exist, and it was totally on Twitter to not delete those things. That shit should have been removed. You don't have to. You're banned for hate speech. But you can say, hey, that's a step too far. You need to understand that's not okay. And we've removed it. Yeah, that shooting was nuts. Have a good night, Chris. That's the thing. If the OR is that far away, there's not much to be done. Take care, Chris. So that brings us to the question of what do we do about the people who are leaving MAGA? Honestly, we do need to talk to them. Now, we need to know when somebody's a lost cause. Don't waste your breath. And we got to accept that they're not going to become left-wing. I mean, some of them might. If they've been seriously, like, questioning, like, the fuck? I mean, you've got all these rich assholes, billionaires, who are fucking us over, putting us under constant surveillance, then telling us that we can pay however much we used to own something, and, oh, it's only a rental now. If you got somebody talking like that, they might end up on the left. Because that's lefty shit right there. And honestly, I was thinking that way back, you know, in 2016. I was starting to think that way because we were starting to see it, like, very firmly happening, that the idea that ownership and right to repair, right to own, these were starting to become optional even back then. That was 10 years ago. And at the time, it was, you know, I'm a conservative, but I'm a very conservative, but these things that the people on the left are saying aren't wrong. It took a lot longer for me to come around to the idea that actually the reason why these things on the left sound so right is because the left is right about these things. And part of that was, you know, an identity thing. So even with that, I wasn't going to become Hey! Little TriMet! That is a TriMet paratransit vehicle. Now, I keep saying that I really want people to see the light, not see the writing on the wall. Realistically, you can help somebody see the light if they have seen the writing on the wall. Again, you're not going to make them left-wing if that's not where they're already headed. But you can make a Republican Party that pushes back on, you know, some of this hyper, you know, only the rich shall survive bullshit by just talking to them. It took them 50 years to get us from there to here. It ain't going to be undone in a day. And part of why you see the accelerationists is they're like, it's gone too far. I don't think it will ever get back, or at least it won't get back within my lifetime. So you see people who are accelerationists. And you see some on the other side, too. They want it to hurry up and collapse. Accelerationists might be allies on a few select issues, but they're not our friends. Not if we're not accelerationists ourselves. Because what they want to do is they want to finish destroying America. I don't want to destroy America. I want America to live up to the brochure. And mind you, the whole brochure. If you are willing to work for it, you can be successful here. Not that you will be successful, but that you can be. That an immigrant can come to America and become something greater than they could have ever been at home. Again, not a promise that you will, but that you can. America has had kind of this anti-immigrant attitude since before the Civil War. But the truth is, hey, Epstein Files, if you do your homework on basically the times that America's had prosperity, it's coincided with welcoming immigrant peoples, individually and in large groups even, and giving them the ability to grow. Because these immigrants come to the United States, they start businesses. They start co-ops. And those co-ops and private businesses hire people because they need labor. Goes the other way too. Citizens start businesses and they need labor. And it works not by empowering the billionaire class, the Epstein class. Although they do employ a lot of people, they try to employ people as cheaply as possible. The small business tries to be a little more loyal than the corporation does. Oh, we can go back to that topic. Hell, don't you people know by now I'm both autistic and have ADHD? The idea that you can keep the idea that you could keep me on a top. There's a reason why I made a comment that had tonight's topics before I left home. It's because I wouldn't talk about half of them if not for the fact that I had a reminder. Oh, I got all these great things to talk about. And then I get out here and I was like, duh, what am I talking about today? Hey, the gate kind of worked. Those were Federal Protective Services. Knocking off at 9:30. Not you. Ah, there's a way. So as usual, those be the pills I get to take. Fuck ice! Take this antibiotic with a full 8 ounces of, yeah, that's more than 8 ounces. I'll be off this shit in a couple of days. It will be nice to have my blood sugar back to normal. Oh, I never actually set a goal for tonight or anything. I'm supposed to do that to let people know I'm raising money for a new device. I'm raising money for a new device. There. I only set it up for 30 minutes, and you know, obviously we raise what we raise, but it is literally just, we're doing the Thursday stream. We will be out here Thursday night. And that's what we'll set it for, but, we are, just so people who drive by know that we are raising money. We are. Anything counts toward it, and we're really already 2 or 3 toward, the next milestone, whatever. I don't do the thing where, like, I'm not staying out here till 10 if we don't raise the money or anything like that. Hell, I usually stay after 10. I don't know if I will tonight just because it's kind of quiet, and we've mostly gone through our topics now. I would kind of like to actually be aboard an aircraft carrier and basically walk the length of it, just because they're big. They're fucking big. It's literally a floating city. Just, walk across the thing. I mean, if I were filming, I would have to let somebody, like, go through my video with a fine-tooth comb and go, you can't show that, you can't show that, you can't show. Or, make sure that I walk with an escort who knows what I can and can't be shown, so that I don't go somewhere I'm not supposed to be. But just, I'd love to be able to walk through one and just get the the scale of the thing. No desire to actually go up in one of the fighters or anything. I hate flying as it is. I do it to, get there, because how else are you going to get to one? There's a rat. Somebody saw a rat and freaked the fuck out. Yep, there be rats out here. We are outside. We're in their territory. Plenty of rats back there. Oh shit, a rat. First time. YouTube crashed. MREs are actually kind of interesting differences just by manufacturer in the United States. I imagine they would be interesting different in how they are made in different countries. But just U.S. manufacturers, there's a lot of differences. I suppose that kind of makes sense because us Americans don't really have American food. I mean, American food is like, burger and hot dogs, but even those are German. Well, the hot dog is a corruption of a German sausage. But all of our food comes from somewhere else. Or someone else. Love you, Tri-Med! There's a 35. Oh, and here's the 40. Love you, Tri-Mat! Number 40! No honk tonight. They're both queued up at the light here. Need to be drinking my beverage. But drinking a lot means I have to go home sooner. There is a particular brand of canned beans that used to be sold in the 80s and even into the 90s, but it was a special order up here in Oregon called Big John beans. It was a can of beans that came with a second can that was sauce. So it was a can of, basically like pork and beans sort of things, or like beanie weenie beans. Those sorts of, canned beans. But then, like I said, it had the second can that had a sauce. It was kind of a... It wasn't basically ketchup and mustard. But it tasted like it had... ketchup, mustard, there was brown sugar in it, a few other ingredients, a little bit of onion. It's pretty good stuff. It was a family favorite. So I wonder whose chairs these are over here. Somebody set up 4 folding chairs. If you guys didn't notice them, those of you who were not here earlier wouldn't have. Chairs. I might need to bring a co-anchor out here. We'll see what he costs. I'm a little bit limited on, you know, what I can afford to spend on something silly. But I assure you, this is silly. And therefore, it is something that I definitely should consider. I don't want to detract from the Buy a Second Device Fund, which, by the way, guys, the Buy a Second Device Fund is about $55, closer to 60 maybe. Now, it might be weeks before those of you who contributed last time could even consider doing it again. But the fact is, most of that was done in one night, guys. About 40 of it was the one night. The rest of it was on Saturday when it was, you know, just a small group of people out here. And oh, thank you. Thanks, Lisa. That's hilarious. But yeah, the Second Device Fund is, you know, I get 70%, and we raised like $54 that Friday. And if we got $54 on Friday and I get to keep 70% of that, I mean, most of that was you guys on Friday. So thank you very much. And thank you, Lisa, tonight. That's very cool. Somebody else might contribute a They're Turning the Frogs Gay frog. Or did you guys see that? My fiance sent me a picture of the InfoWars, the Onion InfoWars. They're Turning the Frogs Gay frog plushie. He looks like he'd need his own seat next to me. So it's gotta be a not cheap plushie. I will say it is a green frog who looks fairly familiar to people in Portland. Darren would flip his shit if I brought that thing out here. I would absolutely love to help give them some free advertising for that thing, though. Now, the fact is, a lot more people follow The Onion than follow me, so it's not like I'm exactly going to do any advertising for them, really. Brought to you by The Onion. That would be fucking hilarious. That does not sound like fun at all, no. There's a guy I know from church, when he turned 50. He's a plumber. So, people gave him a joint replacement set. They were made of PVC. We all thought it was funny. My mama says I'm funny. Ooh, I can get this one. Maybe. There it is. Ooh, no. No, thank you. I had something called pancreatitis. That was also not fun. I've been told it has some things in common with appendicitis, so in terms of how it feels, not necessarily what it is, but oh. Have a good night. Take care, Joanne. Much hope for your husband to be out of the hospital soon. Oh. Yeah, walking around with a burst appendix is a good way to end up dead. Trust me, you do not want to wake up on the wrong side of the dead. I tried it once. I don't recommend it. Yeah. See, this is the thing. In the richest country in the world, we should not have people dying of treatable illnesses. So, one of the things, when they were pushing Obamacare, the thing on the right was, oh, you know, this is not about actually providing care, it's about providing a surveillance system for the government. Have you noticed any less surveillance with fucking Republicans in control? Have you noticed even a little less surveillance? If we're gonna have the fucking government surveillance, can we at least have the healthcare? No, we can't. We can't. Not with Republicans in charge. Well, first they are gonna try and force you to accept the surveillance, and then they're gonna try and force you to eat their healthy choices. Okay, yeah, healthy choices are bullshit. Because healthy choices involve somebody else making the choice for you. Taking away the choice that they don't want you to have. And then calling it a choice. I'm diabetic. The hospital does that shit. They will, one day a week, they will take all of the sodas off of the shelf. And it's like, can I get a diet, you know, Coke Zero or Diet Pepsi, or if I really must, a Diet Coke? No. So you're telling me my options, my healthy choice as a diabetic, are these other beverages that all have sugar in them? Yes. Those are the healthy choices. I'm diabetic. I'm better off with the diet soda. I've spent enough time in a data center. It's just loud, but it's only really loud inside. And I'm pretty susceptible to headaches and things. I mean, this is the idea that the energy can make you sick come from the same sort of people who say that, Wi-Fi is mind control. I mean, Wi-Fi is mind control, but it's a different kind of mind control. Have you seen somebody who is addicted to their device? I can go a little while without having my phone open in front of me. I know people who can't. Like, if you can't take a shower without having your phone playing something, you might be a little addicted to your device. If you can't sleep without something on. Okay, I've known people who've been doing that my entire life. But devices haven't changed that. Eventually, at some point, you need to be able to turn it off. You'll go nuts if you can't turn it off eventually. At least it seems to me. They seem to be okay. For them, the panic is going to be when, they can't turn it on. Of inside the data center or outside? If you're talking about inside the data center, they all do. Because they've got fans that are like this big. We're talking like 60 and 80 millimeter fans, but more 60 millimeters or 40 millimeters. And they're extra wide with really dense blades, high pressure. And you got fan stacked behind fan pushing air through the entire computer. And I mean, not just one or two. You've got an entire row of fans, the whole front end of the computer case. So 19-inch wide fans that are 40 and 60 millimeters, just high pressure, pushing air through the case. And through all those aluminum and mostly aluminum fins. It's just this high-pitched sort of scream. And once you're used to it, it's just like white noise. I know people who go into the server room where you've got this just loud scream of a rack full of computers with their fans just going. And that's if it's just a server room. But a data center is just wall-to-wall those inside of locked cages. And powering them up, oh my God. They just are so loud. I've had a very high-pitched tinnitus most of my life. And fan whir is a very similar frequency. I'm going to have to check out those links later, because I'm curious about that, actually. So it was weird, that older woman who came up to me earlier and asked if she could buy something to drink from me, if I had anything that she could buy. It's like, you do realize that if she was looking to buy something, there's a couple of markets not 5 minutes walk from here. I suspect she didn't really have the money to buy anything, really. But I was happy to give her a water. I had an extra. That's our job, folks. We got to take care of people, because if we don't, who will? I don't always have much to help with, but I will look that up. Now, the problem is, I don't have eyes in the back of my head, and I'm usually focused on the camera. She walked up kind of cautiously. But a couple of people have come up behind me not so cautiously, and I'm... See, that's the thing. On a day like Monday, I'm out here by myself usually, so... There are people nearby. But I can't really tell from here who it is, or how much I can count on them in the event of a fight, because I don't know who it is. I will do what I need to do. Look after myself out here. To the best I can, anyway. It is starting to get a little bit later, though. It's after 10. So what I'm going to do, I think, is begin packing up. I do have my phone here. By the way, if Nathan didn't show you his, these are bungees. So you end up with a four-pointed bungee inch and a half seatbelt, or well, bungee strap thing that attaches this plastic plate, which has a swivel bit so you can reposition it, and then it's got this phone holder on it. These two are cushioned with like rubber. This one does not have a rubber cushion on it. It's supposed to. The cushion is in a box at home. And the reason why the cushion is in a box at home is because this thing, my phone doesn't want to fit into it quickly and easily with its case on. This is the Stuntman phone holder. It also comes in like a GoPro holder. And I think it may come as a plain, you know, 1/4-inch tripod mount. It certainly could. I don't know if it does. But Stuntman sort of suggests that it makes more sense to... Ooh, overdriving the bass. Oof. If I can hear your license plate rattling and... Oof. And the whole... The bass is just going... That's... Oof. Nobody came over and collected cold soda. So there it be. There, back to horizontal, except I happen to know that I wanted something like that. Turn so you guys can see it. Off center, because this is the camera sight line is right here. And so you just lift this part up, dock it, flip the camera back around, push that down, then you twist a knob, which you guys can't see anymore because I've flipped the camera back around. And there you go. There's kind of my center line, and it's pretty well aligned with you guys. Not quite, but close. Of course, it definitely has that whole GoPro bra feel to it, but that's all right. So, what I'm going to do from here is walk back toward the park, and I will say goodnight to you guys when I get there. But I gotta pack up a little first. Drop that in there. Pick up after myself a bit. Bag containing all the stuff I normally carry with me when I'm out here. So I'll ask the question now, and I will wait for you guys to have a chance to answer, because I'm packing up and I'm going to be walking down to the... That's the thing about using this thing, is I can't really follow chat while I'm wearing it, which is why, again, second device. But this is a lot safer walking, wearing a camera like this, because it can't be knocked out of my hands. It can't be snatched away from me. I mean, this doesn't necessarily watch my ass any better than anything else. Again, camera's in front of me, not really behind me. But it has the advantage that if somebody knows I'm streaming and they were planning to do something undesirable, they're likely to think twice, because nobody wants to do shit like that on camera. Then again, you get that dipshit Guyver, whatever the fuck his name is, who was threatening people on camera, and then go, oh, I'm being threatened, I'm so scared of the blind man, he's threatening me. Fucking putz. All right. I hope the camera is picking up more me than the vibing tunes across the way there, because it'd be nice to have this video not be completely devoid of any monetization. I don't actually make any money off of this, but having too many videos that will impact when I get to get to the magic 1,000 on whether or not they'll actually let me like try and have relevant ads on my videos when people are watching a restream. I mean, let's face it, watching my stream as a VOD, you're likely to get political ads mostly. I'm John Q. Public, and I'm running for office because my opponent is a fucking douchebag fascist. No? Oh, right. I was going to ask you a question, and I'll be back at the park in a couple of minutes, and I'll read answers when I get there. I have considered watching some TV show on days that are not days I come out to ice. And they'd be somewhat relevant, because they're things I want to talk about the politics of. And I was wondering if anybody would be interested in that. Now, I'm not set up to do this right now, because in order to do that, I need to be making plans to do that, and reconfiguring my computer a little bit to do it. It's a little more difficult because I run Linux. and I'm doing things that I'm not intending to do right now, or not set up to do. Basically, I got to get an OBS set up, and I've got to get a restreamer set up. You know, the sort of thing you use for playing video games on Twitch or whatever, with an OBS set up, webcam. I got the webcam. Configure what you guys see for a background, so you're not looking at my kitchen and seeing how long it's been since I've cleaned the oven, how many dishes I got stacked up needing to be done, you know, that sort of thing. But I would like to watch some TV shows that are politically interesting. And sometimes they'd be maybe just episodes of things. Like, there are some episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation that were very political. A couple more of Deep Space Nine that are very, very political. And they inform our politics. Sometimes they inform our politics of, you know, the time period they were made. But you'd be surprised how much the politics of today and the politics of yesterday are the same. And I'd like to watch these things and discuss them, you know, maybe act by act, stopping it at like commercial break sorts of places, and just talk about what we're discovering. And I mean, there's a couple of things that, I mean, shit, the entirety of Babylon 5 would be phenomenal for this. The whole damn show. Some episodes of Star Trek would be great for this. Science fiction is a gold mine for TV shows that have politics for their world, but not ours. I am not interested in doing, you know, it seems like Game of Thrones is one a lot of people would like to talk about. I'm not interested in doing that one because, frankly, Game of Thrones is a little rapey. Not to put too fine a point on it. And I'm not interested in rapey. I don't see it. I suspect it's behind that building right there, but that's a lifeline. Too many trees along here. For seeing the sky anyway. See, now I can see the sky over there. But, oh, if this is a high enough angle, and I cannot tell if it is, anyway, I can't tell if you guys can see it or not, so I'll move on. So yeah, I would like to watch stuff like that that has interesting politics for its own world that maybe can have some implications in ours. Oh, the new Ghost in the Shell anime would be a great one, too. Cyberpunk is always fun because it's always massively dystopian. And you're watching this thing and you're like, this takes place in 2029. And aside from the nuclear World War III and the non-nuclear World War IV, we are awfully damn close to that without the cool robots and shit. And maybe that's just around the pipe. Who knows? But, yeah, so I'm contemplating that. And I am changing my mind. Oh, hello, critter. Could not tell what it was. I'm changing my mind because I'm going to go over to that market there. If it's still open. It might be for a few minutes. Yeah, so I'd like to maybe consider doing a watch party for these things. Like I said, I need to reconfigure some things on my computer, test some things. I got to do a OBS setup. And I was thinking about doing it on Discord, just because Discord kind of does that shit really well, and I cannot do it on YouTube. Content ID. Even if it was in a window, and we were doing a watch party, and we were live reacting to it with chat and everything, you can't do it that way. So, YouTube is just the wrong platform for that. Because I'm parked right in the middle of the walkway. So let me get over a bit. Yeah, I'd like to do it. I would like to actually, we can stop and react. I mean, chat can react real time because it's text. But I would like to stop and me react, and we can discuss a bit when we get to commercial breaks. So for stuff that is an hour long, you'd probably end up with 3 stops and then discussion at the end. But yeah, I'd like to be able to cover stuff like that. Anyway, people are dropping off because they see that I'm leaving ice. I have clearly left. There's OHSU right there. Right there. That's the OHSU logo on the building. Anyway, I will go and configure stuff to make that happen. And I'm gonna need to create a Discord server because I don't want to take up Nathan's space with it. Nathan has a bunch more channels than I would have, probably, mostly because I don't think I have enough people to justify 10, 20 channels. Oh. Yeah, Lisa, I'm here at the park. What I was suggesting was that I would like to watch some TV shows on probably Discord. I'll have to create a Discord server for it so I'm not sponging off of Nathan's community for something that for all the channels he's got, he doesn't have a place for it. Not really. I would like to puppy cam. Puppy cam. Puppy cam. Puppy cam. How you doing tonight?
Okay.
Scratchy. Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. I'm out just finishing up my stream. I've been out here for a little less than 2 hours now. Hour and 45, although I did have to interrupt, so it's been over 2 hours now, actually. But I'm running into that market in a minute. But I was asking people if they wanted to watch some TV on the internet. Yeah, I will have to come up with things we'll watch, and maybe we'll break it up a little bit so we're not doing the same thing. Like maybe we'll have a night where what we do is we watch like Babylon 5 is 22 episodes a season, and there's 5 seasons of it, plus a couple of movies. So why don't we plan on that being maybe one night a week, and if we do it a second night during the week, it would be a different show. It'll take a while to get through it all, but I don't know, that or we might do more than one episode a week, because I normally stream for like 2 hours and 41 minutes for a stream, so we might get through a couple episodes in a night. Anyway, that's the idea I have in mind. If a few people are interested, I'll make a post about it, and maybe a poll, and we'll see who's interested. Anyway, I gotta run over there before they close that market. So they close at 11. So I will say goodnight here, guys. And until then, have another taco. Good night, Taco Vors. I think we're sticking with Taco Vors because that's actually funny. That's freaking hilarious, and I love it. So, all right, I'll see what it takes to set things up on my end. I mean, it's a definite doable thing. I just have to install a driver and then configure OBS, and then I can back end it into, yeah. We'll figure it out. Anyway, have another taco, guys. I'm Joseph. Good night. Push the button. That button.